No one can stop me, I feel like the greatest. Don't say be humble, I patiently waited. All of this love and I ain't even.
Yo, what is good, everybody? My name is the Coaster King. Today I'm going to be talking about a 5-year plan for Canada's Wonderland. This park does get a lot of coasters, and they do have a very strong lineup, in my opinion. So definitely going to be interesting to talk about what kind of coasters and rides you're going to be getting in the near future. Make sure you guys drop a like and let me know in the comment section any other 5-year plans you guys want me to touch on in the near future. So before I get into the next 5 years of what I think they're going to be getting, I want to talk about the last 5 years of what they've already gotten. In 2020, they got this little kids ride, pretty much nothing, just kind of a smaller addition after their major addition in 2019, which was Yukon Striker, a huge dive coaster. This is one of my bucket list coasters. I really want to get on it. When I saw it was announced, this is like, I really wanted to go on this ride. So this is definitely an awesome, huge addition for the park. And something interesting is that the last major coaster they got was Leviathan in 2012. So there was a 7-year gap between the last major coaster and Yukon Striker, and before that, it was Behemoth in 2008, I believe. So that's a 4-year gap in between them. In 2018, they got a package of thrill rides. I think there were like 2 thrill rides that they got. Just some average stuff added to the lineup. And in 2017, they got a water park, like a drop kind of slide thing, and as well as a thrill ride to go with it for the dry park. And then lastly, in 2016, they got some family rides, like the one in the bottom right there, like the little air race thing. So that's the last 5 years. And as I was talking about before, there's a 7-year gap between Yukon Striker and the last major coaster, and a 4-year gap between the Leviathan and Behemoth. So on average, we're looking at like a 5.5-year gap, 5-6-year gap between one coaster and the next. So in 2021, I'm predicting that the park gets park improvements and a 40th anniversary kind of celebration. So as we know, coronavirus is definitely halting these parks opening, and Canada is very strict with it, and Canada is not looking to open these parks anytime soon. So I think that in 2021, if they get anything, they're just going to get like some show improvements, maybe some food area improvements, as I have in the bottom left there, stuff like that they can improve on, make it look a little nicer. Throwing some cooler food places to eat. They've been doing that in all the Cedar Fair parks recently, so I'm not sure that they wouldn't be able to do that in Canada's Wonderland. For the 40th anniversary, it is their 40th anniversary, so I think they're going to be like some sort of show or some sort of celebration that a lot of parks like to do when they hit like a milestone like that. So I think that's just going to be 2021, not only because of the coronavirus, but just because Yukon Striker was such a huge addition that they're just looking to make smaller additions to, kind of balance out that much money that they spent. I think that this is the most likely scenario for them in the 2021 season. And yeah. So for 2022, right after that, I think they're going to get a water park expansion. The last expansion they got was 2017, so from now it will be 5 years. And even then, it was just a little slide complex. So I'm thinking it could be something like Carowinds got a few years ago with that little kids area, or maybe a whole new slide complex if they want to get a little more expensive with it. But I think that it would be important just to add to the water park, maybe, throw in a decent slide complex and a little kid section and a little pool possibly, stuff like that. That's just a bunch of ideas I'm throwing out there. But I think they're going to throw in like one of them, maybe 2 of them in 2022. Once again, a cheaper edition, but much needed in my opinion. The water park looks kind of, less quantity as the dry park does. They have so many coasters and everything. So I think that this water park convention is going to be huge for the park. Maybe round out their water parks lineup and get some more guests in the water park as opposed to the dry park. 2023, I think they're going to throw rides. I have throw rides here. I think it could be 1 or 2. Some ones that I have here are the Zamperla Hawk. I didn't even know this was a model until today. I was researching stuff. I thought that looks really cool. Definitely looks really cool. And then the one on the right is the Zamperla Endeavor. These rides are just awesome. Thrill rides Candace Wonderland has been really trying to put a lot of these in, as we've seen the last 5 years. They had those 2 years back to back where they threw in thrill rides. So I think this is going to be another one of those times where they want the thrill rides in the park to help out their lineup. As we know, they have a reputation for having so many coasters, like a huge quantity of coasters, and being really top heavy with their coasters and kind of not having anything else. So I guess they're trying to even that out a little bit with these kind of thrill rides. Um, just decent rides. I can't really put my finger on what type of model is going to be, because in the next 3 years there can be so many new models that not only is Zamperla but any really flat ride company is going to come out with. So I don't want to say that it's going to be one specific thrill ride, but if I'd put a guess on it, I'm just going to say Zamperla Endeavor and call it a day. But uh, you know, I think it's gonna be a good addition to the park and really keep saving money, as we've seen the last couple of years, the water park addition and the park improvements, and then now the thrill rides. Not that big of moves, so they're gonna try to save up for the near future and wait till the next coaster. 2024, I think they're going to get a kids area expansion. They haven't really expanded their Planet Snoopy or really like refurbished any of their kids areas in a little bit. I think they can use a full blown kids area here where they just put in like 3 or 4 kids rides and possibly even like retheme some of them, make them look a little nicer. This is always important for the kids. As I was saying before, this park's very top heavy with the coasters. They have so many coasters and just not that many kids and thrill rides. So I feel like this kids area expansion is going to help round out their lineup in general and definitely help make the park more whole. So in addition to that, I think is a cheaper edition. It's not going to cost over $10 million. So it's going to be a good way to save up for the 2025 edition that I'm going to be talking about in a little bit. But yeah, so I think this is a good addition for the park. As I was saying before. Four, and it kind of rounds out their lineup with the last 4 years. And then in 2025, for their major edition in the 5 years, I think it's going to be RMC and Wild Beast. This has been rumored forever, been wanted forever. This ride is just not that good. No enthusiast really is going out here saying that, oh, save Wild Beast. You don't really hear any people loving the ride. So I think it's definitely up for the RMC treatment. It's going to be a great RMC. If I had to guess one that would be like, I mean, maybe like a Wicked Cyclone, a bigger Wicked Cyclone would be pretty cool. New Texas Giant, something like that. Um, this ride has just a great layout to use for RMC, so they would definitely, do a lot with it. Uh, RMC is never you can never go wrong with an RMC, so I think it should really help out their lineup in general. Even when I was saying before how they have so many coasters, not a lot of them are good. I'd say they have 3 good coasters. You got Behemoth, Leviathan, and Yukon Striker. I think this is going to be a good addition to their top 4 and make their top 4 elite in the Cedar Fair chain. I think this is what's going to push them to be one of the best parks in the Cedar Fair chain. I think probably if they were to get this, and assuming no other parks or anything else, I think this would make them a top 3 Cedar Fair park behind probably Carowinds and Cedar Point, obviously. So I feel like that this can be a great addition for the park. Not too expensive once again, because Cedar Fair does not really like to put that much money into it. Not as much as like a Cedar Point or Carowinds, but they do like to throw some money in, and it does go along with their little idea before where we were talking about on average like a 5 or 6 year gap between roller coasters. So 2019 to 2025 would fit that mold and be perfect for the park. That's gonna be it, guys. As I was saying before, make sure you guys let me in the comment section any other video ideas for the near future, any other 5-year plans you guys want me to touch on. I'll definitely get on them. And I'll see you guys next time.
No one can stop me, I feel like the greatest. Don't say be humble, I patiently waited. All of this love and I ain't even